Can we get the FDA to rule on what is an appropriate amount of grains in a bread for us to be impressed? Because I'm not a baker, I'm not a wheat farmer. So when I go to Subway and it says something like 9 grain whole wheat, I say, I don't know, is 9 a lot or is 9 a little? And also, it shouldn't bread be like scotch? Shouldn't I be more impressed if it's a single origin grain? Why don't I only want 1 grain. I want wheat or rye. I don't need I don't need wheat, rye, oats, caraway, fennel, rosemary, a little corn in there, a little. I mean, I just malt. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure how many grains I could name. Like I know that they don't have rice in there. They got wheat. They don't have sand. I'm hoping they don't have sand. No quinoa. Any sorghum? Good one. I don't know, man. 9 grain wheat bread, Subway. I want to see what grains are in 9 grain bread. And should I be impressed? Wheat, barley, rye, oats, amaranth, quinoa, millet, sorghum, and teff. Come on. Come on, man. Wheat, guaranteed. Barley, fucking sure. All right? Rye makes sense. Oats, acceptable. You can't tell me you're putting enough quinoa in there to make a big difference. Millet? Isn't that like what they make packing peanuts out of? Sorghum? We were joking about. I thought that was just I thought you farmed that and then you turned it into like a gum that's a thickening agent. And what the hell is teff? Teff is a plant. Yes, okay. Iragrotis teff, also known as Tess Williams lovegrass or annual bunch grass, is an annual grass, a species of lovegrass native to the Horn of Africa, notable in modern-day Ethiopia. It's cultivated for its edible seeds, also known as teff. I don't buy it. You know what? I'm saying fuck 9 grain bread. I want single grain bread from now on. I don't mind what. I don't even care what grain it is. I'll eat a wheat bread, no doubt. I'll eat a rye bread. I don't know if they're making oat flour. I guess maybe they could. It might be a bit of a dense loaf, but I'll eat a teff bread. That's fine. But I'm sick of these blended breads, man. Give me a single malt bread. 4 grain at max. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats. Sounds good to me. Anyway. This is basically, it's not for you, it's for me. I'm booting up my brain. I woke up late this morning. I was you know when you're falling asleep, but you wake up before you've entered the sleep that is restful, and you only know that you were falling asleep because you woke up? I know it sounds complicated. You pop in the Galaxy Bud, you're listening to the Great Courses, History of the Roman Republic. Last thing you remember is Caesar chooses between his getting a triumph and running for consul. He chooses to go with running for consul and foregoing his triumph, an indignity that would later lead him to have a record-breaking 4-day triumph when he won the Roman Civil War and also concurrently celebrated the conquest of Gaul. That was the last memory I had. And then 11:56 p.m., baby wakes up. Go in, comfort her. It takes 15 minutes, just enough time to knock me off my rhythm. Put the earbud in again. We're talking about King Mithridates, the famous King Mithridates in Georgia, and his how he built up an immunity to poison and then ended up trying to kill himself, but he couldn't kill himself because he built up his own immunity to poison. We're learning about how Cato, Cato the Younger, honestly, he's got to be one of the hardest motherfuckers in history. Did you know that when Caesar defeated the Pompeians, the acolytes of Pompey, Caesar, of course, one of his known nemesis, he cut open his stomach to try to kill himself, and then people heard him going like, so they came in, they stitched him up, bandaged him up. He said, okay, thanks guys, I'm good now. Dismissed them, ripped off his bandages, ripped out the stitches, and then pulled his own intestines out to make sure that his ass didn't get captured and tortured as a prisoner of war. That I wouldn't. Gen Z could never. Too soft. How many generations are between Gen Z and Cato the Younger? What do you think? Like 75? 75? 70? I don't know. Somewhere in 3? He's part of the greatest generation. So true, bro. Dude, don't even get me greatest generation. People born in the early 1900s. Fuck that. Greatest generation. The people from the late Roman Republic. Julius Caesar. Pompey. Mark Antony. Or is it Mark Antony? I always forget. Cato the Younger. How about Gaius Marius? How about the Gracchus brothers? Anyway, long story short, the baby woke me up many times last night, so the brain is still booting up. Cicero, we don't talk about Cicero. I got a bone to pick with Cicero. All you need in life is a library and a garden. Cicero estimated net worth 20 million ducats. Okay. CEO of Patagonia would never. React to Ludwig's new haircut. Okay, so here's the thing. I've really realized that I don't know hair. Because his tweet was damn, the girl at Supercuts kind of snapped with this one. And he posted a photo. And I was like, that haircut looks sick, man. That, for like an $11 haircut, that's boss. And then everybody laughed at it. And they said, what's wrong with that haircut? It looks like shit. It was a debate. It's photoshopped. But it looked good. It's a shit haircut. Am I crazy? It looked good. It did not look good. He looks Swedish. He does gotta look like a hockey player for the Canucks. Yeah, it looked pretty bad. At least it wasn't the modern young male hairstyle where you get a perm and then you shave the sides and then you like bite your lip. You know what I'm talking about? True. Oh man, we brought him back. We still haven't given our daughter a haircut. She's basically 2 years old. Here's the thing. She has like curly hair because a lot of babies have curly hair. But I know, like when I was a baby, I had hair and it was curly. And then like first haircut became straight from that point onwards. So I feel like we're just enjoying the curly hair while it lasts. Look at the retweet. That's why it's so bad. I don't understand why it's so bad. And then also the photoshopped bald. I mean, it's just when you're handsome, the hair's not gonna ruin, your face. So maybe that's it. Maybe when you're just like, a handsome guy, the haircut is secondary. When you're a mid guy, the haircut matters a great deal. Anyway, what am I doing? Sorry, it's a slow start. Like I said, it's a slow start. The retweet is him wearing a Thin Blue Line t-shirt. No, not even, because that's not the police officer cut, okay? I mean, I can see it's close, don't get me wrong. But I feel like the police officer cut is shaved sides and back and trimmed top. But I also have not interacted with the police a lot. It's been a while. If he had sunglasses on, you know what, now that I look at it, if he had sunglasses on, yeah, maybe. Okay. If I was parking and this guy was beside my car with sunglasses on, I would pay for parking before I got out of my vehicle. Hey, NL, I switched to cold brew and got a job at NASA with all my free time. Thanks a lot. Not based. Parasite sucking our ill-gotten tax revenue off the teat of the government. Why don't you do something commendable and start your own private space agency instead of just taking our hard-earned, well, not my hard-earned money, but sorry, I'm reading chat now. I'm based. Great job. I'm so proud of you. You did really good work today. You're doing a vital service. Down with private industry. Nobody said that? No, I'm saying that. Okay, the rumors of React Court's demise are greatly exaggerated. Oh, thank you for the raid from the Botez sisters. Okay, your community is not ready for what we do here. We basically argue a lot. You know how like you might be watching a chess stream and you'll be like, what move would be good here? And some people are like, oh, queen b3. And some people are like, queen b3 is an inaccuracy. You got to play h6. That is basically what we do, but it's with real people who write fake posts on Reddit. So we read a post, maybe the headline looks like this. Am I the asshole for literally showing my father how he behaves every day when he gets home from work? We read the post and we give our personal opinion on it as one of the most normal streamers on this website, which also makes me one of the weirdest motherfuckers when I'm outside in public in the city in which I live. But anyway, thank you for the raid. It's always fun because the title makes it seem like, who knows? How does he behave when he gets home from work? Takes a beer out of the fridge, puts his feet up, and then inevitably it's like he runs around naked and tries to whip me on the bottom with a wet towel. So you never know just from the thumbnail what you're going to get. So the OP is 16. My father is the breadwinner, while mom is a SOM. That's a stay-at-home mom, in case you're unfamiliar with the acronym. She handles everything around the house, like cooking, mopping. This is, sorry, I get stun locked every 2 seconds. To think that, wait, the mind of a child is so funny. You think the second highest priority chore in the household is mopping? That's that's a sometimes chore. Washing, laundry, cooking, those are big ones. But mopping? Just get a Swiffer wet jet. Well, my dad gets home at the end of the day and literally complains about everything, like how the carpet isn't clean or how the food is cold. Okay, so this is a man from 1956. I put together an outfit that looked like a suit and put black tape over my lips to look like a mustache. At 6 p.m., I went inside the house, shouted, "I'm home," then sat next to him in the living room and started kicking my shoes while complaining about the state of the house at the top of my lungs. He glanced at me confused, asking what I was doing. I ignored him, then started yelling about the carpet being dirty, the shower not ready, the kids needing to be quiet, and so on. He kept staring while mom and my siblings laughed. My youngest brother kept pointing towards me, saying, "This is daddy." I then proceeded to yell about dinner and berated my mom for not preparing it before time. My dad stopped me and in a serious tone asked what I was doing. I turned to him and said, "What, can a man effing rest after working long hours?" in the most macho voice I could muster. My dad got the hint because this was a common phrase he uses daily. The tape on the lips didn't tip him off? Mom said it was funny. Thought I hurt my dad's feelings. Okay, it's a great start. This is the fakest post of all time. Also, can I just say that if we're assuming this post is real, which is not, this is an everybody sucks here. Okay? Because you can't, you don't just go out and embarrass people. This is like a revenge fantasy. If you got a problem with someone's behavior and they're a loved one, you talk with them. It takes time to modify someone's behavior. The dad is definitely, the hypothetical fake dad in this, certainly is an asshole as well. But at the same time, you don't just, can you imagine if like you had a problem with your spouse and you did this? If your wife came home and she was wearing like your clothes and she was like, what are you complaining about? It only stinks if you breathe. You'd be like, are you okay? We have to get you imprisoned at like an insane asylum or something like that. Second post, the King returns. Make your death knight today and prepare for Wrath of the Lich King Classic, launching September 26th. Is the Lich King the asshole? Or is Garrus Valkyrian the asshole? Who's the not the asshole? I've never played WoW. How about this one? Am I the asshole for refusing to share my business profit with my husband? Well. You never want to go in too hard because it always starts with something that's like, you are like, I can't believe that somebody would possibly stoop to this level. And then you read it and they're like, I've been going through a very hard time lately. And you're like, okay, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have judged you so quickly, but that's kind of what this is about. I have a sewing hobby I learned while living with my grandmother since I was 13. So I started spending my time sewing. My husband made a laughingstock out of me, calling me grandma or granny and running with the jokes and teasing. It was unbearable, but I ignored him. Okay, I'm not taking the husband's side in this at the slightest. But if you can ignore it, it's not unbearable. But it definitely sounds like your husband is a real piece of work. It can't be unbearable and bared simultaneously. I understand that it might have been annoying. Also, like, look, listen, your husband calls you grandma when you sew. That's not unbearable. If you're annoyed by it, you gotta talk to. At least, maybe she did. Then maybe it's just not included in the post. But that's might be very annoying. And then you go, hey, can you cut it out with that shit? A friend of mine saw some of my works and suggested I open a website and sell what I make. I was hesitant about it, and my husband's opinion was, man, who would want to buy grandma's junk? Okay, why did you marry Bugs Bunny mixed with Andrew Dice Clay? When money started coming, my husband would ask me to buy something or make a restaurant reservation or even fix his car for him. When I refused, he'd say I have money for my sewing business and should really pay. I decline every single time he asks. There's some crazy family situations out there. If you ever watched 90 Day Fiancé, I could believe this being real. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying it, it could be. This does not sound like a couple. This sounds like two adults that live in the same home. Once you get married, and different people, like, they handle their finances differently after they get married. But at the same time, when, the Bugs Bunny meme where it's like, your sandwich, our sandwich? That's what happens when you get married. It's no longer your husband's car. It's your family's car when it comes to bearing the burden of, like, fixing it. If he uses the car to get to work, some of the proceeds from work fund the household that allows you to have your life, then that's your plural car. If his car breaks down and he doesn't have the money, then I'm not saying you have a legal obligation to help, but you might do him a solid because you're a partner. You're tackling the earth together. Especially if he does. I mean, it also depends. Does he not have money because he's been blowing it at the racetrack, or does he not have money because he's been blowing it on the mortgage? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that this is imagine if the roles were reversed. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is if he has no money to fix the car because he's been supporting the household, then you should help him fix the car if you get a little extra money. That's my 2 cents on this issue. But it also does sound like he's a horrible person and very annoying to be around. But you did also marry him. So I'm not, again, I don't know. It's hard to navigate this without it seeming like victim blaming. But yesterday he showed me a wristwatch online that he really liked and asked if I could pay for it. I said no because I have no money. He pointed out once again, this is his problem. I see now. He can't fix his car because he's been spending all his money on wristwatches. Like, it actually is the 1950s. Did I travel through a time machine last night? Oh, thank you for saying wristwatch. I thought you were talking about a pocket watch. The fashion choice du jour for the modern mid-20th century man. I told him he not only mocked me for sewing, he even doubted my potentials. Besides, that I do all the work, so why should he expect the profit? He said that he as my husband gets half and I should really consider it or stop sewing altogether. I laughed thinking he was just messing around, but he left the house and came back looking pissed. His friend called to scold me, reminding me my husband already does enough for me to be able to find time to sew, and so he deserves a percentage, but I still refused. His friend called you? He's a grown man. He got his friend to call you and tell you that it's... Like, what's next? Get his mom to call? Anyway, now his family are... Now his family are pressuring me to share the money, but I'm still refusing. I'm not just saying this to add legitimacy. I actually think if you put a gun to my head and said, is this story real or fake? I actually think it's real. And I'm not messing with you. It's unbelievable, but it's so close to the realm of believability. The ones that are clearly fake, like the ones where they made a 15-year-old kid wear a diaper and it just got increasingly weird. Like that's that one you could sniff it a mile away. This one, I agree. It strikes me as like a truth is stranger than fiction. Even though, and I'm always scared of or wary of a situation where you only get it from one person's side and they still look bad. And she does look bad in this situation. You don't have to buy your husband a watch with the proceeds from your business. You don't have to, make restaurant reservations that only you pay for. And your husband does sound insufferable. I know the meme on Reddit is like anytime you have a disagreement with your spouse, it's like get a divorce, hit the gym, get a tan. But at the same time, like these people should not be married. Nothing in the tone here indicates that they have like a good relationship. Like even the husband, first off, is just insulting his wife in every time he has dialogue here, but also he talks to her like they're having a business dispute. Like I don't think there should ever be a point in a healthy relationship where you say you owe me something because according to the eyes of the law, my assets are your assets. Like that's you're going down a bad path. In principle, sure, and maybe like the way you behave, you should do things for one another and like work on shared goals together and stuff like that. But I mean, this is I don't even understand what this is. This is two people who are actually just treating the marriage as a contract instead of as like a spiritual union. So, I mean, this is just doomed. I guess. I will, and here's the part. Go ahead, cancel me if you must, okay? But actually, I think most people are going to agree with this because it's a base take. If you were not working and your husband was making the money to support the household, that doesn't mean you were doing nothing. We've said it many times before that it's actually I love the argument because I find it funny that like, oh, women had it easier in like the 1950s because they just got to stay at home and raise the kids while the men went to work. Well, I don't know. I'm not a historian. I didn't live in the 1950s, believe it or not. But from Mad Men, seems like going to work was a lot of sexually harassing your secretary, smoking cigars, and like drinking in your office. And staying at home with the kids, I spend a lot of time with my daughter. She's crazy. It's very exhausting. Like, admittedly, I have the easiest job on the planet, but like 7 hours of doing this job, I leave, I feel like more refreshed than when I started. Like 2 hours of looking after my toddler, and I'm like, holy cow, I'm beat. But at the same time, there's that reciprocity, If he was the breadwinner, you still got to pay the rent, you still got to pay the mortgage, you still got to buy groceries. If he was doing the financial contributions to the help and to the house, and you were doing the domestic contributions to the house, and now the domestic contributions to the house they have less requirements because the children are older, her words, not mine, and you're starting to make some money, I think you should also feed back into the financial well-being of the household, which probably doesn't include buying your husband a wristwatch just because he wants one, but it definitely does include fixing up the family Oldsmobile when it goes down so that your husband can also get to work. But also it sounds like you guys just don't have an arrangement based on love or even mutual respect. So I don't know. Everybody sucks here. I mean, sucks a lot. This is not just a mildly sucks. Everyone involved with this, I disrespect you on a human level. Sorry. Uh-oh. Am I the asshole for installing a GPS tracker in my 15-year-old daughter's car? Update/answers to questions at the bottom of the post. Holy cow. You guys ever read the Epic of Gilgamesh? Because, wake up, honey. New Epic of Gilgamesh just dropped. We bought her a car during the summer so she can have a familiar car to practice in with us while having her learner's permit. This will be the same car she will use once she gets her license. I'm trying not to get stun locked. Every car is a familiar car. You're not going to get behind the wheel of one and be like, what the hell is this? Almost everything is in a pretty similar position. The pedals are there, there's a steering wheel, there's the signal lights, there's a center console. Not true? Not true. What are you driving? Oh, I don't know how to do the launch controls on the Bugatti. I'm too used to my Lamborghini Murcielago. Oh, okay. Honestly, if this is manual, sure, okay. But if this is North America. I doubt it is. She's been secretly driving when we are not home. I found out after noticing the discrepancy in the miles on her car. This is the plot of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. This is Ferris Bueller's Day Off? Don't they know that you have to drive the car in reverse to take the miles off the odometer? I found out after noticing the discrepancy in the miles. We scolded her and told her it was illegal, and we started outlining the tires with chalk so we know if she uses the car or not. However, the The chalk did not stop her from taking the car out. Wait a minute. She got past the chalk wall? I don't buy it. You got the impregnable chalk line has been breached? This is like time machine technology, but this is why you don't buy your kid with a learner's permit their own car. I never was tempted to drive my parents' cars when I had my learner's permit because, I mean, they were using them. I would have to, there's an extra step. I would have to either steal my parents' car keys or I would have to ask my parents, excuse me, mom and dad, can I break the law and go driving myself? At which point I assume they would be like, no. And I'd be like, I'd go back into my room and play some Halo 2 or something like that. If someone's not allowed to drive legally on their own yet, why did you give them their own car? It doesn't make any sense. And then, just looking at it from the daughter's side, I don't know if it's illegal, but I would definitely say it's like a little unethical to, instead of taking the keys away, just install a GPS tracking device like James Bond. It's like the worst way to approach the situation, followed by the worst way to address the situation. It's just, you're doubling down. Look, I'm not saying it's easy to parent a teenager. I'm just saying, it's, I mean, it sounds like you shouldn't have bought her own car at 15. I mean, that's just, you made a big mistake to begin with. If your only problem with them is that they're driving illegally, why would you buy them their own car when they can only drive it illegally? And then I do understand that they could also, like, why would you give them the freedom to break the law when instead you could just wait a year and they could share the family vehicle? I'm not saying that you entrapped them into breaking the law, but you made it like as easy as possible for them. And then you're like, please stop breaking the law. Why'd you give her a key in the first place? My parents bought me a car when I was 14 and had my learner's permit. They immediately gave me a key to it, and I never once drove the car without their permission, despite always having the key. I thought my daughter would do the same thing. I've raised her almost exactly how my parents raised me, so I thought she'd act the same way as I did in the same situation. We're going maybe again a little too far. You don't do something like this be just based on the way that you have to look at your child's behavior, not the way that you raised them, because people are different. Like if two people in the exact same situation have different personalities, or in the closest possible situation you could imagine, they could still have different personalities. My parents raised me like this in 1975. I raised someone with the exact same principles in the 2010s, and they're behaving differently in response to this new environment. It just doesn't make any sense to me, I guess. I'm trying to just wrap my head around it. If basically, so you need a chaperone in the car for someone with a learner's permit to drive, which means the parents have to be home in order to be the chaperone for their kid when they're driving, which means that they're not at work or otherwise outside of the home, which means that their vehicle should be in the garage. So why do you need to get one more? You already have the vehicle. It doesn't make any sense. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to not think about long-term consequences as much as like short-term enjoyment sometimes. Let's not cross this one off the list, Windows. Let's remind me tomorrow. Let's keep kicking that can down the road. But at the same time, it's like, you kind of dared your child to break the law. You made it too easy for them. Why haven't you taken the key? I've told her to give it back to me, but she refuses, and even when I searched her room, I was unable to find it. Sorry. You have other tools at your disposal as the parent. You control all of the economic flow into and out of the household. You have like legal rights that your daughter doesn't have. Like, why don't you just slash your tires or something like that? That I would be on my best behavior if my mom was looking over my shoulder to see what was on my laptop screen at all times. I would rethink my behavior very quickly. Not even just, adult content. I would just be embarrassed by some of the shit that I was laughing at. Are you watching that video again, Ryan? The One Piece! And remember, eat some more cake, eat some more pie. Doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. The One Piece is real. Are you watching that Chibli guy again? Why are you shitposting so much? Do your homework. Why haven't you disabled the car? To be honest, my husband and I don't know much about cars, so this didn't even occur to us to try. We've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas, man. I've never even heard of a steering wheel club before. Are you serious? That's like something you should have heard of, because it was a huge thing like 20 years ago and is almost, you see them now and then, but not very often these days. We're the type of people who bring our car into the shop for any maintenance, so I didn't know how to disable the car. So the idea of removing parts of the car or such never occurred to us. I don't know much about cars. I could still probably come up with some fairly non-destructive ways to disable a car. I would probably not cut the brakes. The sugar in the gas tank, the Ernie McCracken special. Take a dump in the driver's seat. Take the spark plugs. Surely you could just, why don't you just lift the engine out or something like that? Why did you think the chalk and tracker would work? Just because it would have worked on me when I was a teen. I didn't like upsetting my parents. Okay, then that shit is irrelevant. Obviously, she is not the same person as you. I'm losing it at these parents that are like, the law didn't stop my child from taking the car out. The threat of potentially being arrested didn't stop them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to a little piece of chalk next to the wheels. I've already discovered you're driving the car without my permission. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change functionally absolutely nothing. I'm not even going to make it any harder for you to break the law. I'm going to do the bare minimum effort. I mean, this is horrible. This is just terrible parenting, man. At least until they get their actual license. You don't need to buy them a car for their learner's permit. That's madness. It's like wearing a suit to school on the first day of undergrad. Like, you dress for the job you want, but at the same time, are you trying to get wedgied? I don't understand. Okay, the metaphor fell apart, but... Am I the asshole for telling my friend that I think his girlfriend is about to leave him? Not 16 years old, by the way. I, 30F, am friends with Ruby, F30. Is it so much to ask for to get some consistency? 30F, F30, M31. Can you at least put the age and the sex in the same order every time? Sorry, I gotta hide. I'm stun locked too early. And my truck, F-150. I'm gonna +2 that one, Chad. That was a good one. +2 to you. Ruby did masters while working. Jason OD'd and died. What the hell is going on? The coolest dream. Ruby and I were very best friends. But after graduation, she became boring. While me and Tom would have a drink or two in their garden, she would study or work and drifted apart. That's so good. She does her own stuff. She barely acknowledges us. Well, Tom doesn't see an issue. I tried to tell him, but he said it's fine. At least she doesn't bother him while gaming anymore. I tried inviting her to have a drink with us, but she always refuses. Frankly, I think she's taking adulting way too seriously. Psychic damage. Psychic damage. At one, I noticed Ruby having a drink with her friends. I didn't know she had any. And she was her old self, laughing, having fun, cracking jokes. She was the life of the party. I didn't know any of those people, and I suspected Tom didn't either. I texted Tom, and he said he's busy with a game, and we'll talk later. I got a taxi and went straight to Tom's, telling him what I hear. He told me to stop being silly. Plus, I'm playing a game. We'll talk later. I told him he should consider what to do so she stays, and he said she has no reason to leave. We played some games and got a bit more drunk. I stayed on their sofa and didn't know when Ruby came home. I was woken up by Ruby at 2 p.m. and she called me an asshole amongst other names, kicked me out of the house telling me to never come again. Update, shit has hit the fun. Last night, Tom knocked on my door crying. She kicked him out. They were talking and he was begging for her to stay. He offered to find a part-time job and do more around the house, but she wouldn't listen to him and didn't care that he wanted to try. Okay, your girlfriend works, provides all the finances for the home. It's not going to be a popular statement, okay? But there's more for you to do around the house. You got 40 hours a week chilling, And then also the evenings, and there's still stuff you're not doing, like everything around the house, or like 85%. You don't, I hate to say it, you don't know how lucky you got it. During 8 hours of work, if you did like 2 hours of chores daily, that place would be fucking sparkling. It can, unless you live in a palatial manor or something like that. But like, you know, look, you do the dishes. Maybe you vacuum once every 2 days. You clean the bathrooms like once a week. Do some laundry. What else you fucking gotta do? He's on rumbleverse 100%. There's no doubt. He's probably the guy javelin tackling me in the final circle. Vacuum every 2 days. I'm just saying you gotta justify your role. Like you don't have to vacuum every 2 days, but if your partner's out there grinding, you should at least, keep up appearances, right? Like here's what I would do. If I was in this situation, first off, there's no doubt the house would be clean as hell every day. But 100% of the time, whenever, like if she comes home at like 5:30, 5:25, I'm plugging in the vacuum cleaner so that when I open the door, she always sees me doing something. So she gets the subconscious impression that like, oh, he's been working all day. He couldn't even finish the housework by the time I got home. Or I'd be like, I would just open the door wearing like rubber gloves and be like, oh, sorry, I just finished cleaning the bathroom or something like that. Meanwhile, I would, have a leisurely breakfast. I'd probably go for a nice walk, play some Pokemon Go, come back, eat a leisurely lunch, and then I would do some chores, and then I would probably like watch a movie or something like that, and then I would plug in the vacuum at 5:25 and be like, zzz. Anyway. And then people are like, well, what if she came home early one day? Well, I would just, as if she came home before 5:30 and I was looking like I was just gaming, I would be like, I'm sick. I don't feel well. You can only pull that card like once every few years though. So most of the time you gotta be on the ball. But you can't, if your girlfriend's making all the money for the house, you can't let the home be in disarray. Because then your girlfriend is just your mom. Like you're supposed to be equals in the relationship. In theory, you're supposed to be making an effort to put in, equal effort. If she's doing all the breadwinning and 50% of the housework, you're like, stop being such a loser. I'm sorry, I didn't know how else to phrase it. Now, if the roles were reversed, I would say she's girl bossing, leave her alone. But I can put myself in his shoes more easily, okay? She said she's leaving in 2 weeks. She's so serious about adulting, she gave 2 weeks notice to her boyfriend. She asked him to go and stay someplace else while she's packing. She's packing? Everybody get down, she's got a gun. She has his debit card. They had a joined account and she had a separate one. But she's transferred all but 100 pounds. That's all he has for 2 weeks. As you can see, she's not the saint you guys make her out to be. Tom is heartbroken and all she cares is money and her move. She doesn't care how he feels or if he has a place to stay for the 2 weeks. Both OP and the guy are bozos. I'm giving a verdict of bozo here. You're entitled, for the record, within reasonability, to live your life however you want. You want to be a 31-year-old guy who just plays video games all day? Well, you can become a streamer. It actually seems like, I don't know if the last paragraph is implying that she stole some money, but like he doesn't make any money, so how could she steal her own money? It actually sounds like she gave him 100 pounds by leaving 100 pounds in the checking account that she filled up. I mean, it's not a lot of money for an adult to survive, but it is her money. So, like, I don't see that being... they're supposed to be equals, right? Oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, but she didn't even give me any money? It's just like a weird statement. It honestly sounds like Tom and the poster should be in a relationship together. They both don't take adult life seriously, which again is completely fine as long as they're not trying to fit a round peg into a square hole and be like, married to a career woman. Like, it's that those are incompatible lifestyles. So if you want to have a couple of ciders and play FIFA all day, then sure, you guys you would get along great. What's the problem? Also, I don't understand why he feels like he should get more money. It doesn't make any sense to me. My girlfriend broke up with me. She only left me £100 of her money. You realize how bad of a boyfriend you have to be for your girlfriend to pay you severance? She actually paid you like a fuck off fee. It's Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. She did say, I'll pay you £100 to fuck off. That's an indictment of your character. And 2 weeks notice. That's crazy. She reduced the severance twice? Yeah, because you kept asking for more. I would be annoyed too. She told him she had some money saved up so he'll have time to find a job. He asked her if he could get the money now since he has to go someplace else and find someplace else to stay. Hold on, I gotta read some comments here. They're gonna dunk on this guy. Hold on. Hey, everybody's dunking on the OP, but I want them to dunk on Tom more because what is he doing, man? Hold on, I'm scrolling. You're the asshole. She's too adult. She's a bitch for giving him money. He plays video games and gets drunk while she works. I hope she leaves quickly to go live her adult life. Okay? Almost insulted Tom. I don't believe a 30-year-old wrote this. Okay? That's pretty fair. Everybody sucks here except Ruby. Okay, that's true, but go off on Tom, please. Oh, grow up. Stay out of other people's relationships. And guess what? Of course your friend was super happy. I'd be happy too if someone paid all my bills and did everything while I sat on my ass and wasted my own college degree doing nothing. And he said the only problem they had was her nagging him. Translation, she was telling him point blank the things that made her unhappy and the change she wanted to see, and he made zero effort to accommodate her. Ruby deserves her freedom. Her life will be much better with both of you gone. And in 10 years... you'll have no one to blame but yourselves. You aren't in your 20s anymore. Now is the time to build the life you want, which is what smart little Ruby is doing. I don't know why she phrased it like that, but she went off. Smart little Ruby. Whether she's working her job that pays her too much money, doing all of the financial responsibilities of the household, or building equity that skyrockets their net worth. If Tom came to me and begged for greater severance, I would have said no. Am I the asshole for telling my sister that she overreacted when she screamed at me for entering her and her husband's room? What? Oh, it's fake. Just looked at it. I had no idea they were doing it, especially since Claire told me Thomas has been feeling sick for the past 2 days. Okay, we leave that one. Scrolling. Am I the asshole for missing my daughter's birth? Oh, man. Always, I think about it like once a week, that episode of Unexpected on TLC, which is it's exploitative, don't get me wrong. It's all about teenage pregnancies. This like 17-year-old girl and the 17-year-old father are having their second kid, and they're packing the baby bag for the hospital, and the dude packs his PS4. And then she's like, why are you packing that? And he's like, there's a lot of downtime at the hospital. Not for her. Not for her. Oh, man, it's so good. Just sneak in like a quick game of 2K while the doctors are testing my baby's hearing. Yeah, you're right. That's why you need a Switch. Just play it in handheld mode. You never know where Grand Cherokee's 4x4 capability will take you. Thankfully, its 360-degree camera will help keep an eye on things. You never know where Grand Cherokee's 4x4 capability will take you. Thankfully, its 360-degree camera will keep an eye on things. Are they the asshole for injecting an in-stream ad to my own content? No. They're the asshole because they're driving a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Owned. Am I the asshole for Am I the asshole for asking my wife rhetorically if she wants our son to get hurt? I'm going to need more information on this one, please. I, male 28, live with my wife Macy, 28. There's a rule that I have. You can't share other people's names if you don't share your own name. So you got your son's name, an infant son named Leo. You got a wife, Macy. What's the husband's name? Quirky Addendum 2779. Leo is our first and only child and is 5 months old. Macy works part-time and I work full-time. Macy works on Tuesdays, but I don't. If Macy gets a call to work on the day that's 3 days after Tuesday, and I get a call to work on the day that's 4 days before Wednesday, who's looking after the baby? Macy works on Tuesdays, but I don't. Macy normally leaves the house at around 8 a.m. to get to work on time, but I like to take the opportunity to sleep in where I can get it. You are the asshole already. You should have thought of that before you conceived, dickhead. What are you thinking? Are you dumb? You had 28 years to take the opportunity to sleep in, and then you made a decision that gave up that right, okay? I'm not trying to judge anybody, but if you don't have a kid, you might not know there's best practices for a newborn's sleep, and putting a child in your bed as an adult is already bad, but then putting it in the bed with someone who may not even know it's there is way worse. I'm less paranoid about it now, but especially for like the first year of our daughter's life, I was like, I would like put her in the crib, I would leave the room, and then I'd be like, oh shit, what if there's a mild earthquake and a book falls off the bookshelf and lands on a stuffed animal and pushes the stuffed animal onto her face and she suffocates, right? Like that's where my head was at. Now that she's basically 2, I've relaxed a little bit, but like this, there were a lot of days where I woke up and I was like, oh, she should be crying by now. I guess she died. I guess she died in the night. And then you just sort of like sit there for a bit and be like, well, I'm just going to enjoy this little period before I have to face that. And then you wait, like you maybe like brush your teeth, and then you go into the room and she's just chilling and you're like, oh, never mind. Good morning. It messes up your amygdala, man. Having a kid, like your amygdala permanently expands to like 5 times its normal size. It's not rational. The human brain is not okay. Yeah, people are saying my brain works the same way. I'm telling you. Yes, Kate there's a baby cam video of me waking her up one day, and I like went in and was like, hi, and she didn't react at all. And I was like, that's fairly normal. So I like put my hand like on her chest and started to do like a circular rub, and she didn't react. And you can see on the baby cam, it was like I got hit by a lightning bolt. I was like, and then I did it for like another 5 seconds, and she was like, good morning. She was just chilling, honestly. I asked her if she wanted Leo to get injured. Macy got really mad and has gone to stay with her sister for a couple of days and took Leo with her. Well, now you can sleep in. Be careful what you wish for. I get off work 4 to 5 a.m. on weekdays, so I'm getting around 3 hours of sleep when Macy goes to work. Macy only works 1 day a week. We don't need her income, and I make more money, but she likes her job, and I respect her choice to work. I work 70 hours a week and do my fair share of housework and cooking when I'm home, so I sleep like the deceased when I'm in bed. Okay, honestly, it's a self-serving edit, but at the same point, I am like, I mean, it does provide some context. I was going to say, well, just wake up, but waking up after 3 hours of sleep, I mean, that's like a forehead moment. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's like setting yourself up for failure. It's like when people say, my weight loss plan, I'm never going to eat another carbohydrate. I'm like, okay, I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. We'll see how this plan's holding up. Get a nanny on Tuesdays? I'll be honest with you. King George, the third voice, I wasn't aware that's a thing you can do. I think because my only knowledge of nannies comes from the show The Nanny and the trailer for Nanny McPhee. I thought nannies were kind of like an all or nothing sort of thing. I thought like if you get a nanny, they like live in your house, or at least they're there like 5 days a week, like 9 to 5 or something like that. You can just get a nanny for 1 day. It's a thing you can do. There's nannies out there that are like, I'm looking to add another like 3 hours a week onto my schedule. Yeah, Tuesday morning at 7. That's great. So that's really that works perfectly for my schedule. I'll be there at 6:45. Yeah, I don't really understand. I don't understand the whole nanny system. I can understand the temptation. Don't get me wrong. I just don't understand the. I didn't know there was a way you could just like book a nanny for a little bit. Like Uber a nanny. It's called a babysitter. No, if a babysitter is under the age of if a babysitter is over the age of 20, they become a nanny, right? Isn't it like it's a life cycle thing? Like a tadpole becomes a frog, becomes a crocodile. It's like or when Pikachu evolves into Raichu, like gotcha. Gotcha. Um you're right. I know. Everything I said is all true. Can I be honest with you? I think she's overreacting a little bit. Like, there's probably never a situation where you should say, "Do you want your daughter to, or do you want your son to get hurt?" That's like not a fair argument tactic. But she did also call him a bad father. You shouldn't be saying that either. It's like if you ever go to reddit.com/r/daddit, which is like the dad group on Reddit instead of the mom group. The mom group is basically like 90% posts that are like, how can my husband do so little and expect so much? And then r/daddit is all posts that are like, everybody only asks me what am I doing. Nobody ever asks me how am I doing. It's a it's a glimpse into the soul. But like, you shouldn't call him a bad father. He's working 70 hours a week. He's working his tail off, you know? I live in a very safe city, one of the safest cities in the nation. Due to this and lack of parental regulation as a kid, I've never locked my doors. I hate this shit. Hold on one second. First off, I gotta go full screen. Secondly, I hate that shit. Because that was what we as Canadians have had to deal with forever. Is that because of the damn in Bowling for Columbine, Michael Moore interviews like the 20 dumbest Torontonians and goes, "Hey, the people in Canada lock their doors?" And they're like, "No, nobody in Canada locks their doors because crime doesn't exist. Everybody that I know in Canada locks their doors because it takes half of a second and at least provides like some barrier to crimes of opportunities." Also, the other reason I lock my door is not just so that like someone doesn't break into my house, is also so people that are like hammered drunk don't just like come home to the wrong house or something like that and go to sleep on my couch. It's just like just by I do that, I save myself a lot of potential headaches. That's the big thing. If someone wants to kill specifically me, I don't think a locked door is going to stop them. But if someone is just going around wiggling doorknobs, then I think that you make yourself less of a target. It's the same reason that in front of our house we have one of those stickers that's like, "This is protected by XYZ security company." And then when our neighbor gets one that's like, "We're protected by XYZ security company," then we, next to the sticker, we put a little sign in the lawn that says, "We're really protected by XYZ security company." So that if somebody's going to rob a place, they look at they're like, "Which of these two houses am I going to go to?" Of course, you're going to go to the one that has less stickers and signs. "Oh, beware of guard dog. Trespassers will be shot on sight. My other house is a gun." You know, you get the idea. It's an arms race. Anyway, I just don't understand. Like, what do people think they're gaining by not locking their doors? Because you're saving no time at all, like literally an amount of time that is impossible to harvest on a daily basis. It's not like, if you add up the second that you're saving every day for your whole life, you get 10 minutes. No, you don't, because you can't. You can't add that shit up. This shit is gone. It's ether. It's like trying to hold sand in your hand, like it's slipping between your fingers. Regardless, I just don't understand why they wouldn't like lock their door. It seems like, you know what, it becomes like it's like a flex for them. It's like, look at how awesome my neighborhood is. I don't have to lock my door. Well, yeah, they still smash your car window or something like that. Regardless, I drive a Wrangler and take the top and doors off, and I've never had a problem with stealing. Okay, so this person is just, they're in love with the fact that they feel like crime can't happen to them. I've never locked the doors to my houses or apartments. This has never been an issue with my old roommates or family. It's just the way I've developed. My roommate, since moving in, has become increasingly more paranoid and anxious. I've known her for years and have never seen her like this. She thinks there are cameras in her sink. If she gets a bug bite, she assumes she has bugs living in her bed. When she sleeps, she has paralysis where someone comes in to kill her. She locks her bedroom door and front door for safety. Okay, she has a genuine mental illness and, like, needs some help. And locking her room door and her front door has nothing to do with that. Room door is maybe further than I would go, but at the same time is completely reasonable behavior within the normal spectrum. I came home a week ago. There was shit everywhere. It looked like a mini tornado whirled through my apartment. I went in my room and my TV was gone. My mini boba fridge was gone. All my vintage Playboys were gone. This is fake. This is fake. My vintage Playboys? It's not worth anything, probably. Nobody's breaking into your house and stealing your vintage magazines. They're using that shit to, like, line their bird cage. Quick, steal the... Bro, I'll take it a step further. I don't think in the year 2022 anyone's stealing your damn TV either. That's an antiquated meme. Nobody's going to take your damn TV. They're giving that shit away at Best Buy. They're like $75 for a 40-inch flat screen. Definitely nobody's taking your damn magazine. They just take your wallet and, like, sell your identity on the dark web or something like that. They're not going to haul out a TV and try to fence that shit on the black market for $20. It was clear through my eyes that I had been robbed. I sat on my bed and just sat there in shock, on the verge of tears. How could this happen? I called my father, who didn't pick up, and I was left defeated practically. I jumped up because I was worried for my roommate's room. She was sitting there waiting for me. She had all my things in there, pranked me to try to teach me a lesson about locking the door. My problem is that she never even talked to me. I had no idea this was an issue with her before. She said I should have assumed that I need to lock the door out of respect for a shared living space. Actually, very true. Like, if you have roommates, your front door is not your front door. That's a shared front door. True, but also psycho. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's just a given. Like, on a medical level, I think. I'm just naive. I honestly didn't know. Thank you to people who understand I wasn't being malicious by forgetting to lock the door. Also know my roommate is not insane. She's a close friend of mine, and we get along well in every other situation. We do most things together. She's not insane. We're friends. Doctor? That's my biggest confusion about this, is she's never had a problem with communication before, so I am not finding another roommate. Lol. The one solution that's obvious to this problem? Sorry, it wouldn't work uniquely in this one. My perspective at the moment was that she was not home yet because her car wasn't there. I wasn't meaning to be selfish by being sad about my collections and not thinking about my potentially dead roommate. Oh, man. Yeah, your roommate is out of her mind. I don't know if you need to say anything else about the subject. OP is also out of her mind? Well, I think that she's a little naive. I think naive was a good way to describe it. You don't have to be afraid. You just have to be sensible. If I can go like this and minimize my odds of being a victim of a crime of opportunity, why wouldn't I? Doesn't mean I'm scared, like, oh no, I locked the door. I hope nobody takes an axe to it and, like, takes it down. It's just, you just do it because it's sane and sensible. It's like when I feel a rumbling in my tumbly, I go to the bathroom and sit on the toilet. It's not because I'm scared I'm going to shit my pants. It's just because, if the flow starts, I want to take the appropriate action. I want to give myself every possible chance for success instead of catastrophic failure. It's literally like it's so little effort to just do this. Do you lock your door when you're at home? Yes, absolutely. I mean, because I would rather someone comes to my house and goes and then walks away than walks inside of my house and then I go, hello? And I'm face to face with, like, a robber. I don't need to stop them. Like, that's what the lock is for. Yeah, you're right. I would rather lock it when I'm home than when I'm away. You're absolutely right. I don't really care if you, I care, but I care less if you rob me than if you, break and enter my home while I'm asleep or something like that. You can go ahead. I don't know what you're going to steal in here. You just steal some assets? Okay. Steal my damn Lululemon ABCs. One of the pairs already has a ripped crotch anyway. My 1 million YouTube subscriber plaque, go ahead. If you can lift the Peloton, go ahead, honestly. We'll cancel the subscription. My vintage Playboys, those are in the safety deposit box, okay? They're not getting into that. They're in the panic room. If someone breaks into my house and takes my fridge, I'm sorry to tell you that I think they need it more than I do. Normally, you have to call like professionals to come and take that shit. You need like a dolly, like a hand truck, or a really strong guy with one of those like canvas belts wrapped around his midsection. She says that I should supplement my food with something else if I need more food, but I don't see why I can't say the same thing to her. We both think each other is being selfish, and it doesn't really seem like we can resolve this disagreement. So am I the asshole? Am I the asshole? Okay, I've been convinced that I was wrong. The main thing that convinced me is it isn't her responsibility to make sure I'm full, which is true. It's my responsibility. I think I'll start buying my own groceries. This is the problem with proper nutrition. You get people that are adult height with the child's brain. This person is 3 inches taller than me and at least 2% dumber. You shouldn't be this tall if you're still kind of stupid. I'm sorry, okay? You should have to give up a little height. Like temporarily. If you want to be this hyper literal, well, I'm bigger than you, so I have greater caloric needs, then you got to take it to its logical extreme, young Sheldon. Instead of being like, I get more food in every situation, you have to find your basal metabolic rate plus augmented by a factor based on your activity. Find your sister's basal metabolic rate augmented based on her activity. Then you need to look at the calorie count of the meal. Because if you guys are eating a 2,000 calorie dinner, and it's split evenly, you don't need half of her dinner to supplement because you're both eating too fucking much. Similarly speaking, if it's a 200 calorie meal, you should each be getting half of it because you're at like starvation rations, okay? So there's only a very narrow subset of meals where it would actually be relevant that the taller person needs to get more food. Because you're living in a country where you're posted on Reddit and this is what's bothering you in your life instead of like, I need medicine or food or water or like a house or something like that, I'm going to assume that you live in a world of relative abundance where meeting your caloric daily requirements is not an issue, in which case, why are you getting in your own fucking way by starting arguments with family over who gets the bigger piece of salmon? Doesn't make any damn sense. How stupid do you have to, what is this caveman philosophy? I'm bigger than you, so I get more food at every sitting. Oh, I had a light lunch today, and you went to McDonald's. Yeah, but I'm taller. I'm taller than you, so like I have greater caloric needs. Yeah, but you've eaten more than me today. But I'm taller. I'm taller than you. I'm bigger than you. Give me 61% of your ice cream bar. I am big. This is food robbery. I will say it's hypocritical of me because my wife always gives me the bigger portion and then I eat it all. And then she's like, do you want some of mine? I'm done. And then I go, yeah, maybe I'll nibble a little bit. And then I eat all of hers too. So I don't have to worry about this problem in my life because I'm a stud. I don't have to hide my hunger unlike you. But it's not because I'm taller. It's just because I love eating. Am I the asshole for telling my son to get over it? Okay. I like that one. Exercise. Wait, sorry. English is not my first language. My wife and I tried for a baby for a long time, but couldn't have one. We finally decided to adopt him. We adopted a 12-year-old boy. Jared, fake name. Of all the fake names you could choose, you've chosen one heavily loaded with Could I just get you to not... Okay, Kevin. Let's call him Kevin S. Okay, our adopted son, Jeffrey E. My wife and I tried to have a baby, but eventually we decided to adopt. We'll use a fake name to protect the innocent. Let's call him OJ. Let's call him T. Bundy. Also, I admit that as Jared was our first child, we have no idea how to be parents. We were more strict, like early curfews, being a little overprotective and things like that. Okay, honestly, to go from not having a kid to getting a 12-year-old is like a Nathan Fielder experiment. Like, you're supposed to ramp up, like, every day the parenting changes a little bit and you change in response to the growing demands and the changing restrictions, right? To just get a 12-year-old like handed to you, that's tough, man. I don't think any parents out there are like, the ideal age, when did I have the best relationship with my child? Probably like right when they started being a teenager, essentially. Right when puberty hit, they really mellowed out. And then that's so I have some sympathy for that. I'm not just trying to poke fun at it. I'm just saying there's a certain amount of sympathy that you gotta have for that. With Jada, we had more experience and didn't make those mistakes. Wrong. You had no experience from 0 to 12. You don't have to give the parameters you need for a 12-year-old is much different than the parameters you need for a newborn. Oh, Jada, don't swear so much. You know, it doesn't. I don't think you can just transfer that. I don't have a 12-year-old. I know, but I'm assuming it's different. I mean, if I'm still changing my 12-year-old's diapers, then who am I going to tell them to get over it? Jared keeps complaining about how unfair it is that Jada has a better life. We apologized and told him we wish we could give him a better life, but things were different back then. Today, he was at our home and Jada was telling him about her boyfriend. And he said, "You have a boyfriend? I wasn't allowed to have a girlfriend when I was your age. 16 years ago. Get over it?" Yeah, you know why you should say get over it, honestly. Wait a minute. We'll just wait for it. Edit. I called Jared and told him we'd love it if he would come on a trip with us. He said, "I don't want to come. I can go to trips by myself." I don't want to come on your trip, Mom and Dad. I can go on my own trips like a big boy. Why is he the asshole? Why is the dad the asshole? I've got to know, because the flare said asshole. Like, what is he supposed to do? Get a time machine? And please don't tell me that this is going to be like the top post is going to be you've got to make the situation financially whole. Anytime you take your 14-year-old daughter, if you buy your 14-year-old daughter back to school supplies, your 30-year-old son should get a dividend paid out from the family to the exact same amount of the value of the school supplies you purchased. You're the asshole. Why didn't you include him in the trip? You need to be more sensitive to your older son's feelings instead of calling him names and telling him to get over it. It sounds like you definitely favor your bio daughter over your adopted son, and he knows it. Doesn't he have other shit going on? I'm sorry. Like he's 30 years old. If one kid was 14 and the other one was like 17, then I'd be like, yeah, that's a dick move. But like, I'm just putting myself in the mindset. Like, if my parents had a kid after I went to college, and they were like, "Hey, we're taking Jada to Tuscany. Do you want to come?" I would be like, "Oh, I gotta knock out the damn rent." You know? I mean, I would love to, but Jada has summer vacation. I gotta actually like book the time off. I got Isaac videos to make. Exactly. I gotta play Rumbleverse. Hi, I'm 30. And my mom just took me on a trip this summer. We have a big family and couldn't afford trips when she was raising all of us, so now that she can afford it, she does. You're the asshole. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe there's just a cultural or a personality difference here. I can't imagine resenting your parents because they took your younger sibling who is basically part of who's a child. You're an adult. Your sibling is a child. And you're like, "Oh, you're the asshole for not taking me on this trip." It doesn't make any sense to me. Also, yeah, he asked if he wanted to come on trips, and he said, "No, I'm a big boy. I can buy my own trips." Soft, you're the asshole. Just get over it has man up vibes. Look, here's the thing. 99% of the time, you should not tell somebody to man up. But there's like a 1% situation where you gotta like man up. It's just because it's almost always wrong doesn't mean it's wrong in all situations. Like, you remember the Kitchen Nightmares episode where the lady ordered a hamburger but they ran out of buns, so they served her the hamburger patty on sourdough bread, and then she started to cry because she was like, they don't have any buns. That's a man up situation. You're like an adult, your burger's got the wrong kind of bread. You gotta, I'm sorry, you gotta be able to weather the storm there. I'm giving you a soft, you're the asshole for toxic masculinity. That's fine. But he didn't say man up. He said get over it. And then so it's like, first off, you're the asshole for this thing that you didn't say, but is kind of similar to this thing that you said based on the vibes. Remind him that you chose him. Maybe arrange some stuff for you to do with him. And when he says no, you're still the asshole. Yes, your circumstances have changed. Yes, you can give your daughter the life you want to. Doesn't stop your son from feeling the way he feels. But he's 30 years old. I'm not saying you have to be like an emotionless husk, but you could like be sympathetic to the fact that your parents, your adopted parents raised you when they had lower means, and then now they have greater means, and be like happy for the greater success of the family and the people who chose you and reared you, instead of resenting the fact that like your sister is getting to go to like a Holiday Inn Express. You're the asshole. You shouldn't have adopted a kid when you were in a bad financial position. You should have thought about stuff like this. Before you adopted a child, you should have been like, what if we're poor now, but we get rich later, and we're able to provide for another child, and this child resents us for it? You got to think about stuff like this before you adopt. You don't get to just adopt a kid and toss him out like a practice pancake. What the hell are you talking about? I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to steal practice pancake. That's great. User received gold for this post. Practice pancake. It's not a practice pancake situation. This is like the next 20 comments. This reminds me of when you throw out a practice pancake. One of these days it's going to hit. So much this. People feel like they're entitled to children no matter what, and don't think about if they're capable of raising them. He raised them. He couldn't take them on a trip when he was 14. I don't understand. Did the process of adoption create this financial hardship, or failed rounds of IVF? It's funny how much you try to buy your way into children, the less qualified to support those children you become. Is that funny? Do I need to bust out the dictionary? This has 143 upvotes. Definitely. They said English wasn't their first language. Maybe they live in a place with less scrutiny over adoptions. Or fucking, maybe they don't. Who knows? As long as we're making shit up that could be true or could be false. What the hell are you talking about? You need to man up. I'm not adopted, but I'm the oldest sibling, and I'm taking the tossed out like a practice pancake into therapy with me next session. Please don't. Your therapist is going to lose respect for you. I'm sorry. That I was joking about that one. Normally I say I'm not joking. That time I was joking. I just thought it would be funny. Therapist is going to be like, Jesus Christ, this is like the 8th time you brought up the practice pancake. Please. But SpongeBob typing, but we deserve to be parents. They wanted to call themselves parents. Of course they didn't care about the life they could give to the child. They had to stay in a La Quinta Inn Suites instead of the Marriott. Jared was old enough to last them just a few years till they could have their miracle Jada. They would give her everything they could right after Jared was out. OP, don't forget, you're still a parent even after your kid is 18. If you were regretful about not being able to give him a better life as a child, you should include him now that you can do it. You're the asshole. It's a trip! Is this crazy? Am I crazy? Did they toss him little bread crusts? Hey, Jared, come over for dinner. Here's some gruel. Oh, Jada, how do you like your beef Wellington cooked? It's a trip 16 years later. This kid was 14 in I can't do the math. 2006. Fucking, they didn't even have like a Motorola Razr back then. The world has changed. Did you invite your son on the trip, or perhaps save up to send him on one of his own? You're the asshole regardless. Okay, well then I choose not to answer the question. Crazy 187. You're throwing me a suicide pass here. If you ask me a question and no matter what the answer is, you're gonna indict me, then I choose to not answer. You're the asshole regardless for dismissing his frustration because he's 30. You caused the feelings of inadequacy. Just because you didn't have the money then doesn't mean you shouldn't make an attempt to treat him equally now. I completely understand where he's coming from. Seeing the younger sibling get spoiled after being raised by strict, financially struggling parents sucks. It's not his fault you weren't ready to be parents. You do owe him an apology, though, and probably a lot of money for the therapy he needs. Look, I'm not saying you shouldn't. You're a 14-year-old kid has different needs than a 30-year-old man. And different means to meet those needs. I feel like if my parents, I'm 33, if my parents had a 14-year-old daughter or son, for that matter, I would almost be like, and I guess this doesn't mean that this person is wrong, but I would be patronized. If they were like, we took your sister out to Red Lobster, so we sent you a gift certificate to the keg. I would be like, Mom, that's not necessary. Maybe I feel that way because I'm an only child. It's hard to put myself in those shoes. Maybe I feel that way because I was parented very well. That being said, I didn't go on any fancy trips. I lived in Kingston, Ontario. Every year we went to Belleville or Ottawa. She was a 2-hour drive. We stayed in a Holiday Inn, and then we ate at chain restaurants that they didn't have in my hometown. Now, it was nice. I had a good time. Maybe I'm just not, as a child, I wasn't as into trips as they were, but still, I mean, maybe it was not so nice of me to have the opportunity to go to Sneaky Pizza and eat pizza rolls in the Quinte Mall that was 45 minutes away from the Cataraqui Town Center, the mall that I normally go to. But still, it just seems, it really sounds like they're interpreting this from like the perspective that like they raised the first child and were like, fuck you, here's some dirt for dinner, eat shit. 18 years old, boom, get out of the house. Wow, look at our precious angel. Oh, you know how I'm gonna fuck over my adopted son? I'm gonna get like a great job and really elevate my station in life, and then use my newfound salary of financial liquidity to provide them the kind of life that I wish I could have provided my first child with. Like, we're one dial on the satire meter away from them being like the top comments being like, you should also underprovide for your current daughter. If you really want things to be fair, you should start putting them on like poverty wages again. You should start feeding them maybe like a little cabbage and hot water for dinner every single night. And so think of the 30-year-old man, okay? He's incapable of making himself emotionally whole in this situation. I'm not trying to harp on the guy who, whatever. He can be like upset. Like the 30-year-old man could be upset. I think it's a little juvenile, but I also haven't been through it myself. But I'm harping on the Redditors who are trying to get this dad to like fucking kill himself in Minecraft or something. They're going off on him, saying he's a bad dad. It actually seems like he's doing pretty well, honestly. I mean, he wrote the post, so who knows? But still, I don't know. I don't think that not letting your son date at the same age that you're letting your daughter date now has anything to do with how much money you're making. That shit was fucking 16 years ago. It was 16 years ago. People change. I'm not saying it's a different time. I'm saying the dad is a different man. He's become the second ship of Theseus. He might even be like the fifth ship of Theseus. You have a favorite child, a do-over child, if you'd rather call her that. I'm sure that he wouldn't. You would rather call her that to make the OP look worse. Of course, that's permanently impacted how Jared sees you. The number of people arguing that it's not wrong to do better on the second kid is interesting. The number of people calling me fools, calling me a fool and an asshole for my asshole comment really makes me think. I didn't call OP an asshole. I was very careful not to do that. I said how they've treated their 2 children is the way that an asshole would do that. The way that they're acting now, where they're explaining all the bad decisions they made with Jared as justified because it's over and can't be fixed, yeah, that makes them a huge asshole. Sure, you can't fix what's in the past, but there's not some magic number of times you have to apologize that lets you sweep what you did under the rug. Jared does not have to get over the fact that he had a shitty childhood because of OP. Because of OP, he was adopted at age 12. This shit's driving me crazy, man. I don't know what to say. I'm losing my mind. There's not even a single, you're not the asshole, or like everybody sucks here. You're the asshole. Wow, OP. Everything about this screams an attempt to conceal favorite child vibes. He's not happy for his sister because he was never treated like this. All this early curfew and overprotection sounds like you became a parent with no prior knowledge, which is very irresponsible. How could you become a parent? How could you become a parent with prior knowledge? And now you've acted extremely dismissive of your son. Okay, he's doubling down to justify his actions and his comments too. He's an asshole bordering on worse. He came here to have his point backed up, but it backfired because he's a douche. A douche. Everyone on Twitch is agreeing with me right now, which is frightening because it means the YouTube comments are going to be scary as hell. You're the asshole, and it seems like you raised your daughter into a brat. What the? She didn't even play a role in the story. She literally just exists. Envrox. She didn't do anything at all. You can call the dad an asshole, but Jada's catching strays. She didn't even do anything. She just went on the trip with her parents. The way you talk, it's we made a good deed adopting a teenager. He should be grateful. But it looks like when Jada came into the picture, she became the golden child, and you pass everything. You pass her everything he never had. What can he do? What can he do? I don't know what you want. I don't understand. I'm sorry. And it's real. I'm not filtering this necessarily through the idea that this guy is 30, so he must be like a Fortune 500 CEO by now. It's just like he's 30, so I expect him to like not openly resent his 14-year-old sister. You can openly resent your parents. That seems fairly normal. But like, you know, you're a grown man being jealous of a teenage girl is like fucking weirdo energy. Can I get one, not the asshole? Oh, let's go! He shouldn't take his resentment out on his sister. Based on this post in your comments, seems like you minimize his feelings pretty often. Everybody sucks here. Let's go! I don't even think he sucks that bad based on what he said, but still. Holy cow. Sane Redditor. Not the asshole because you didn't have money back then. You and your wife adopted him and gave him love and a stable home. You're the asshole. He scared the crap out of me. I got jump scared by the door opening. Oh my God.
I gotta go.
Oh, okay, have fun. Love you. You're the asshole for dismissing his feelings. Of course Jada's on your side. She gets all the benefit of the trial run with your first. Jada's 14 years old. Can you just chill out? She's 14. You're so biased because you're a parent? Yeah, but I'm also a kid. You know? I'm not a child, but I'm somebody's child. I can relate to this like in abstract, not literally though. I mean, this is something I can't relate to. I don't understand the middle child, youngest child, like older child dynamic. Younger children, the youngest child is always the one that is treated as the baby. Or, oh, they tried really hard on the oldest child. By the younger child, they were tired of being parents, so they just sent me out in the yard with no supervision. And the middle child, I'm the middle child. Oh, the older one's being disciplined, and the younger one is being showered with attention. Nobody's paying attention to me. They had another kid. Now there's two middle children, and the one that used to be the baby is now also a middle child with me, but I'm also like their older sibling, and then I don't, and I used to be the baby for a while, but I don't remember being the baby. So when I was getting that resentment from my older siblings were resenting me for getting the attention, I was getting the attention, I got the benefit, but I don't remember that, so I resent my parents for that too. Like, I don't know, it strikes me as kind of like Brady Bunch astrology, but I'm not a psychiatrist or an astrologer, so I'm not sure if I fully am qualified to give my diagnosis on that one. I mean, if you raise a kid to age 30 and a big problem in their life is that they resent you for taking their younger sibling who's like a generation younger on trips that they were financially unable to take you on, then I think you've done a pretty good job raising the kid. NL, at what age do you think is acceptable to stop using parental controls on the TV and internet? Hey, you know what's I'm going to use your question to get another question going off here. What's a reasonable age to start? Right now, I have one parental control for my nearly 2-year-old, and that's called she doesn't know how to use the remote very well, so she can't do anything. So I haven't turned on any parental controls yet, but I guess we're going to put on some parental controls at some point. It won't take too long before she's able to figure out how to use those devices. I mean, every parent, I'm sure, I'm not hitting 30 bat hits. Are you crazy? Sure, deal damage. Every parent is surprised, I think, by their child's abilities. But we had the Disney playlist on when she was in the car yesterday. She sang every word. She kind of mumbled it, and the enunciation was not all there. She sang every word to Love is an Open Door. And even like some of the call-in responses. Like if me or Kate go up to her and go, I mean, it's crazy, we finish each other's. She goes, sandwiches. And I go, that's what I was going to say. I've never met someone who thinks so much like, and then she goes, me, Jinx. And I go, Jinx again. She tries to do the like, in the chorus they go, duh, and you. So we just kind of like say and you over and over to each other for a while, but she knows all the words, man. It's kind of crazy. I was like, how'd she pick that up? She's going to be like a karaoke expert. washed. I gotta admit, so here's what happened. Last night, I'm not watching the baby. But I was like, I don't really want to play Rumbleverse right now. So I did the dishes. I changed the sheets while listening to the Japanese breakfast album Jubilee. Then I said, I still don't really want to play any Rumbleverse right now. So I put the sheets in the washer. But in order to put the sheets in the washer, I had to... My wife's clothes were in the washer. So I was like, I got to put them in the dryer. But she's got a lot of clothes that don't go in the washer. So I went through item by item, checking the tags like I own a laundromat in order to determine which clothes go into the dryer and which ones don't. And I hung up the ones that don't go in the dryer, and I put the ones that do go in the dryer into the dryer. Then I said, okay, I'll play some Rumbleverse. I played like 2 games, and I was like, nah. Not because I wasn't having fun, but just the lobbies were so hot. I said, rather than force it when I'm not feeling it, we should do something with lower mental throughput. So I went to bed, but then the baby woke me up 2 times in the night, so my sleep was also kind of bad. So it was just kind of like, it wasn't a bad night, but it was just sort of like off. But on the bright side, at least I changed the sheets. It was nice to be on new sheets, let me tell you that. This is how 80-year-olds talk. Yeah, and here's how like 20-year-olds talk. What'd you do last night? Watch Netflix. Next, what are your hobbies? I like watching movies and listening to music. Wow, is there some kind of joke here? The last 70 people I asked this have given me exactly the same answers. I like going to restaurants. How long did you use the sheets? It's kind of a personal question. I mean, once a week is like, that's a little much, my opinion. You can, if you want to, it's your time, don't get me wrong. Your sheets, oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, we're probably like a once a month. Like, don't get me wrong, I would like clean sheets more often. We got a lot of shit to do, though. Like, we're very busy. I don't want to be the person to tell you this, but we live in a 2-tiered society when it comes to your obligations, okay? Like, if you have kids, I cut you more slack because I'm biased and I have more kids. I'm willing to admit it, okay? And you know why? Is because I compare myself after having a kid to myself when I didn't have a kid. And, like... When I talk about it with, especially with my brother-in-law, I'm like, dude, why was I not ripped 24/7 when I didn't have a kid? I had so much time. It actually just boggles your mind. I thought I was busy. I was not busy in the slightest. I had so much free time that I was, you know, there was occasional boredom. Please, more on this. I'm 24 and I feel too busy. I mean, like, it's not to say you're not busy now, but you'll probably be busier in 10 years. I don't want to act like, oh, you should always, like, do more work, because that's not a healthy attitude. If you want to, you can. Like, I worked a lot from, like, age... I don't know, 22 to like 28 at least. And then I like slowly peeled it back. I used to like work 7 days a week, wasting my 20s like recording Isaac episodes. No! Then I finally started taking like a day off. And then when we had the baby, like 3 months into having the baby, I finally started to take a dedicated 2nd day off. I've been on that 2-day weekend for like a year and a half. I'm still like, whenever I wake up on Sunday, I'm like, holy cow. I'm not used to having this much time. So I'm not necessarily suggesting you should do what I did. Especially because what I did was mostly play video games, which was like pretty easy. And then read the YouTube comments, which is pretty hard. Okay, don't fucking touch me, motherfucker. Your ass is gone. You got no time to react. I guess I'm just saying, you know, it gets... You're probably not gonna get less busy. And the most messed up part about it is that when I am less busy, I'm like, I don't know what to do. I gotta like... My first reaction when I'm not so busy is to find something to do to make me less busy tomorrow. But I'm just... I'm just kicking the can down the road, you know? We got... HelloFresh was desperate, bro. HelloFresh was desperate. They sent us a letter in the mail. They said, hey, your next box is half off. So yeah, we got a box for half off. Are we going steady? I don't know, man. I might just frickin' eat it and leave it. You know how it is. You know how I am. I don't know what else we got in the pack. That's not true. We have a baked chicken with a blistered tomato sauce. And we have, honestly, there's some joke in here about don't ask your wife what she wants to eat for dinner. We all know the answer is pasta. When I opened the HelloFresh, it was like 3 pasta dishes. I'm not complaining, by the way. Bro, he's so right. My wife loves pasta. I'm telling you, dude. I love pasta too, don't get me wrong. But men be like, I don't know. I'm feeling like, I don't know. Maybe like, I'm feeling like a steak. And women be like, I don't know. I'm feeling like... I don't really know what I want, but I'm thinking maybe just something light, like maybe like a pasta. Do you not cook anymore? No, I've been barred from the kitchen because of the food poisoning thing. What do you think you'd like in season 2 of Rumbleverse? Jay, are you still here? How funny is it that you suck at parking as a battle pass? That shit is so hilarious to me. I don't even, not in like a toxic way. Just in a humorous fashion. Is it real? Yeah, it has like a, I don't know, like a $10 battle pass, I think. People are mad about it in the Steam reviews. Well, can I say that like I understand that without being rude? So-called free thinkers when a $20 indie game has a battle pass. It's not, I guess, again, I don't have like a huge issue with it. I just thought it was very audacious. That you come out with an indie game and you're like, not only are we, I mean, it's free on Game Pass, or included with a Game Pass subscription, but also for an extra $10, like, here's the stuff we're going to give you in Season 1. Because I feel like, I don't know. I don't know if I expect it to make a Season 2, which is not even to say that I don't think it's successful. It's just like the level of success you need to have to justify creating that much content for the game, like for multiple seasons, just seems like a lot. It's just new. Maybe in a year it'll be like normal. I almost feel like if you buy it on Steam, you should get the Battle Pass. And if you get it for free on Game Pass, you could pay for an extra subscription or an extra fee to get the Battle Pass. But the other thing that's messed up is that seeing that it had a battle pass, even though I consider myself a logical individual, only slightly governed by my own emotions and biases, when I saw the battle pass, I was like, oh shit, I gotta play a lot of this game in multiplayer. Before I knew there was a battle pass, I'm like, this could be fun for like a few hours. As soon as I saw the battle pass, I was like, oh shit, how am I gonna max that out before Season 2? I'm getting into soccer betting, but I don't know anything about soccer. Can you give me some advice? Will Barcelona score 2 goals today? Every part of this sentence is a red flag. Why are you betting to begin with? But especially, why are you betting on something that you don't even know anything about? Like, not to be rude. But what do you mean you're getting into soccer betting? They will for sure bet big, your money is safe. Does Messi still play for Barcelona? And why ask me? I don't know anything about it. No, he plays at Paris Saint-Germain now. Oh, okay. Don't they sing that song that's like, can't keep my hands to myself? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for... I thought he was a soccer player. That's Portugal the man? Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain. Sorry, bad breath. That was actually an accident. I'm getting into hockey betting. Do you think Vancouver will score 2 goals today? Listen, they don't play today. Even the preseason hasn't started yet, much to my chagrin. Climbing a taller building for you. If you were smart, you'd climb it with me. What do you get when you steal in my juice? I will kick your ass off of this roof. I'm still kicking your ass off. Just because we're not Wonka pilled doesn't mean I'm not knocking your ass out of here. No! Okay, they got scared. Does anyone else get the Kirby's Dream Land theme in your head when you're having an argument with something? First of all, you called a crow a jackdaw. That's not true. Though crows and jackdaws are in the same family, they're distinct subspecies. I'm literally an ornithologist with over 22 years of lab experience. That's Tetris now. Somehow I turned it into Tetris. That's the Seabat Redditor. Pog. Nice tune. I've got to add that to my sex playlist. Good one? Good one. A classic little joke. Here's what you do. You pop this shit. You say, I'll see you in hell. This will be the last one either way, though, I think. Because, like, at 2 p.m., I got a date with Sam Yo for a 45-minute 90s rock ride that's probably going to have the same... It's going to have fucking Everlong by the Foo Fighters. It's going to have Give It Away by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I got lucky in a 90s ride recently. Somebody, Dennis Morden put in... Possum Kingdom by the Toadies, which I think is a song that I have not heard on any of the Peloton rides up to this point. Get off the Sam Yo train. He fell off. He did not fall off, okay? I don't know. Holy shit, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm getting blown away.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know what to do. Anyway, that's bad for my confidence. I'm just saying, I don't understand why Peloton employs 60 instructors, and then when I log on, there's been 4 classes uploaded in the last 24 hours. I know this sounds like an insane boomer take, and maybe it is. Maybe I've got to embrace that. But like, if you're is there so much to ask that maybe Peloton has every instructor do 5 rides a week? Like 1 30-minute ride Monday to Friday? That would be awful. What do you do but bike? It's a half hour. I'm sure they got more. They got prep work. They got to make the playlist for the class. Maybe they got to like clear the rights to the music or something like that. But surely at this point they just got a library they can pull from. Like me booting up the app and there's like 3 German rides. I'm like, really? A 1 15-minute motivational you can do it ride. So I'm going to send you to somebody else. Anything important to do? Yeah, I got to get my damn car insurance renewed because I got to find the exact window where it's actually, can I tell you, I'm a little upset. I was all set. Last Thursday afternoon, I was like, I'm going to go get car insurance. And people said, don't do that. Just do it online. It's easy. So I typed it in online and it said, you have joint car ownership. You can't do it, but you can do it over the phone. So then I emailed the insurance company to do it over the phone, and then they've been unavailable for like 4 days to do this shit. If I just gone to the insurance place on Thursday, it would already be done by now. But people were like, no, there's an easier way to do it. Here I am fucking 8 days later, I still need to get my car insurance renewed. Anyway, still missed. Okay, that one hit. Never forget who started this, Eric. By the way, I'm drinking the juice. You do it to yourself, Eric. Instant wake up? He lived? Nah, never mind. Okay. Feeling better. Let him play. I was looting. He came to dropkick me. Never forget. I don't really want to fight you. I only have one move and it's super. Can't resist. Sad story. Okay, who's next? Think I don't see your ass up there? I'm content with 1 chicken. Oh, fuck you! I'm out. I'm dead. It's been some hot ass lobbies today, man. That's a different cat? They got dive. Oh, they didn't even get dive bombed by another cat. Come on, brother. It's an insult. You think I'm not gonna get a wake up super? Oh, okay. And I'm taking you all the way up. Ah, never mind. Oh, Jesus. There's a red juice over there for number 5. Can you spot the red juice? Does he know? Red juice. There's a red juice over there. I see it. I see it. I don't see it, man. I don't see it, dude. It's under all the KOs. Really? I think it's just a man with red boots on. It's a juice? I don't know, man. I gotta disagree with you on this one. This is gonna be a bit of a disaster here. 5 people remain, huh? I think it's a great time to pop super. Just send some fuckers out of the circle. Let's go! He lived. 5 gamers still remain. Thought that would land. It's the most fun part of the game in my personal opinion. Okay, good start. What do you got for me? Diamond Crusher, good move. I shielded, but you have Javelin Tackle. Fair enough. Help. Help. Don't super my ass. Choke slam I can live with.
7, 6.
Almost worked. Is it juice? I gotta know, you're right. It's red boots, man! It's red boots! Oh, imagine though. Yes! He's got 1 second, right? Dude, Cosmo shot. Someone said it has good air tracking. You're insane. It's incredible in the air. Really? What am I thinking? Warriors read books. Oh! Take one of those! Washed, am I? You're the one who's washed, Gobby. Washed out of his drawers. Well played. You know, a little bit of a coward game, but Cosmo shot air tracking. Someone in chat said Cosmo shot has good air tracking. I read it. And you won me the game, honestly. 13 seconds till launch. You know what this is not? Is that Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew McConaughey movie failure to launch. Because we are not failing to launch. We're launching too quickly. -2? What, you guys don't like Sarah Jessica Parker? What is this, Reddit circa always? Okay, now I want to fight. Good splat, good splat. How does that shit work? Get splatted on. Get splatted on once more. This shit's gonna get thrown at your damn head. Splat him? Not necessary. Stop. It didn't hit? I remember you. This guy, he was insane yesterday. Isn't this the dude from yesterday who was out of control? Things change. Or as they say in Frozen 2, some things never change, but some things do. acceptable. I deserve that. I probably deserve to get splatted. Thank you, sir. Tomahawk grab. I think I'm out of here. Fuck. I have 71 life. Boing. You just leave me alone so I can mess up this, like, dedicated third partier. This dude's whole life is based around hating. He must be made to pay the price. I told you, he must be made to pay the price. Joe! Every time, dude. It's down there, man. This is my moment. Completely my moment. You're eating? Eat this. All right, Joe! Joe! Good move, Joe. Good move, honestly. He's doing wonders. He knows I do wake up nut punch. If it's Joe, there's no way he doesn't think I do wake up nut punch. Joe. So close and yet so far. I didn't think that one was gonna get me. He's too good! He did it! Joe Mautiki has KO'd NL with super vicious attack. It finally happened. Chad's champion. What did I say last time we fought? I said one day, oh, well, he's dead. Alright, we came 15th. That would have killed you. What have I done? I killed you! Put your chicken away, Walter. Huge. Big, get him. Get his ass. He's not ready for this jelly. That's fair. I mean, I saved your life or whatever. Yeah, eat shit. Surprise, motherfucker. You're so Booba fan. Get his ass. Break. Oh, fuck. Get me out of here. Standing still, got caught looking. Put it in your pocket for now. One good elbow drop, we're earning a perk. I told your ass. Deserves. We should get up there. But first, we should get up chair. What are you doing? 10 gamers remain on the world's most psychotic multi-tiered circle. We have bad moves, but anything can happen. You never know. Like, that's a perk waiting to happen. Just being able to endlessly elbow drop. I told you. Go ahead, say it. It's deserved. I got an idea, though. Someone has taken my idea of standing here. Yeah, let's go! Get his ass! Thought it would work. Cosmo shot! Cosmo shot! We know! We know Cosmo shot! We know and love it! I could have punished better than that. You honestly, I'm not sure you're cut out for this lobby. Oh shit, I'm toxic, I'm toxic. We know we love Cosmo Shot, so enjoy it. 3 gamers, 3 gamers. I love third parties. I have super, this is okay. Where's my gamers? There's one.
I'm almost speechless. What an awesome hit!
I don't know where the other one is. Since when do we love Cosmo Shot? Oh, hello. That's new tech for us. He's not meditating, he's just sitting. The circle gets smaller, I get happier.
Pulling out all the stops. 9, 8.
Going up. This is still safe.
Yes.
Oh! I thought it was guaranteed.
8. As big as Gravital City itself. Everyone's gonna be talking about that around the protein shake cooler tomorrow.
Get his ass out of here.
Their opponents reeling. That's what I call the rumble.
Help.
9, 8,
I'm not scared.
7, 6, 5.
Just a little? Just a little. No shame. I'm also trying to clash you. There's a dude there!
6.
I'm going up. Yeah, fight, fight, fight. Big hit. Getting back up. Get him up, get him. I really thought it would work.
6.
This is a chess match, man.
6.
Almost. Someone's gotta do something. I'm still not scared.
6. 5.
Now I'm scared.
3. 2. Fire it up.
I'm in trouble. Yeah. Oh, I really think we had a good chance there. David Lang, can I speak to you in my office briefly? How has an adult man splatted his body on a bicycle rack? Help me. I'm in a lot of trouble. Thank you! My guardian angel!
Right, let's go.
Yum, 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 yum. I got meditate too. I got the damn battle pass. He shouldn't be alive. Bro, he's got 80 HP. Just hit him. I don't know what's happening. I haven't seen myself in like 10 minutes. Oh, this is a big boy.
Incredible elimination.
That's why we love Dolphin Dive in this house. If you are the kind of person who respects Pog, then you respect... I thought that was Juice, but it's just a target. If you respect Pog, you respect Dolphin Dive, and that's the bottom fucking line. That's all you need to know. How can it be bad if it instant combos into super? Any move beats it. Block beats it. Jump usually beats it. Dodge definitely beats it. At least if it's timed. Sorry, I still got a lot of super meter left. Why? Oh, did you see the instant dodge too? What a move. Whatever, I'm healing. It worked. It worked. Jab tackle? Yes! Bad move. Obvious. Very obvious what I was going to do. Thanks for the free damage. We take what we can get. Whatever. Your bat's broken, brother. That person just appeared in front of me. So, where does one hide in a world like this? Wherever you can, brother.
6, 5, 4.
I need this tree.
Oh, that's how you play the game, folks.
I need the tree. I don't have a whole lot of room to work with here, but I need the tree. Yeah, I don't like this at all. Obviously, we need the heal. I guess the best way to heal is going to be dead. I just died to a drop kick with 400 HP. Did I die to someone with 8 juices? Oh, you had 100 HP. Oh, my bad. I thought I had 700 or 400. Still, that's a tight lobby, man. Oh, you got killed by an elbow drop. I see. Cosmo shot like is our dolphin dive. And then Omega uppercut is like, let's hurt some fools. I could have done it earlier, I'm sure. And then I was trying to roll, but I couldn't mash the keys fast enough, for God's sakes. Okay. Oh, shit. It splatted me?
Look out, everyone. The ring is streaking.
My latency, David Lang! This motherfucker is moving too fast for me. Get out of here.
That got their attention.
Insane. Insane move. It didn't hit.
The contestants had better be careful.
You still got your super? Don't throw a plank at me. Dude, you can't tell me that chicken's not at least thinking about being a stream sniper. You can't tell me they're not entertaining the thought of stream sniping right now. You want some juice?
There's no question about it.
Don't let me stop you. Dude, Cosmo's actually... I'm just about to say, Cosmo's doing some good work. I just wanted to Irish with you. I wasn't even trying to super. I just wanted to kiss you down there. What the fuck is happening?
Look to the skies.
There we go. That's gonna do a lot. Why do you never keep ult for a res? I'm sure there's some situations where it's relevant, but for the most part, I feel like projecting power and healing is way better than coming back from getting your ass kicked with 300 HP to just get javelin tackle for 700 attack, like right after. Hello. You again, huh? I'm going back. I'm going back to the damn well.
9, 8.
And I'm kicking you way out of the circle.
Everyone's gonna be talking about that.
I don't think that's gonna kill you, maybe, but we'll watch the kill feed for a second. I think they might have made it back. Oh, Lagartor DQ'd by falling. Rip to a legend. Bye-bye. I love when Apollo says that. Wait for it.
7,
Wait for it.
6, 5, 4.
It hit. It's called gamesmanship. Okay, we want to be on the tree. They've only got 1 second left on their timer. Oh, never mind. Oh. I don't know, just get off of here. I just like to chill. I see that chicken again. I hear climbing. I see you in the motherfucking bush. Look, this is not the most honorable way to play the game, okay? Can't see what the fuck is happening. I'm just going in, just throwing my big shoe around. Boing. Not even using my uppercut, which is also like a really, really good move. Hey, can you guys fight so that I can stay in the circle? My air tracking. My insane air tracking. What, you threw a book at me?
This is physical smash mouth rumbling.
3, 2. Oh, I was gonna. Okay, he's dead. Whatever.
9, 8, 7.
I was getting ready for the cheeky elbow drop. I'm obviously ass. Don't make fun of me. Skyrocket. He's skyrocketing. Where's my other lat? Uh-oh. There he is. I'm still meditating on it.
8, 7, 6.
Get him.
6.
Get his ass. What? Why are they outside of the circle?
I hope you like contestants getting wild. If not,
What have we done?
break yourself super.
We KO'd the big man? I've used Omega Uppercut. 2, 1. Bye-bye.
We have a winner.
Bye-bye. Oh, man. Really makes you think, doesn't it? How'd we do on eliminations there? 3. Sometimes that's all it takes. I got super. We should use super and get involved, I think.
For a showdown, folks. What a statement.
Do it again. I live, bitch. Fuck you. Give me some.
The clinical term for the injury. Looks like you know what
Don't let him splat me. Get in there. Save my life. I'm gone.